Happy Froggy Friday! Sorry about that. Welcome to the Mischief and the Crafty Rat. This is part of the Froggy Friday collaboration, which was started by Karen of the Dragon's Den and Lisa of the Girl in the Garage. And there are lots of amazing artists, resin and otherwise, who take part in this. A link to the playlist is below in the description box. Please go check them out. They are all wonderful people. Right, so I will get straight into what I'm going to do. I'm all laid out, which me and organisation, we'll see how this goes. So normally I use this mould for putting all my little scraps in. I build it up and then I use the scraps as filler or whatever else. However, this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing glow in the dark. So just randomly going to be filling these up with these various colours. I'll probably do this over a couple of pours, and then once I've got a few, I'm going to then mix them and fill up the frog. So I am going to start first of all by mixing all this up and doing this, and I shall be back shortly. Right, so with this one, I was working on, I think, 3 projects at the same time. So rather than mixing up resin specifically for this, what I've done is use some leftovers from the other projects that we're doing. So all I'm going to be doing is separating small amounts into each of them little tiny wonderful cups. Absolutely love them. Not. So yeah, I'm just filling them up, and then I'll be mixing in the glow in the dark powder in with them. Now I'm just going to show doing it on this occasion. I actually do this twice. Should I have? Meh. Don't know, but I did. So for this next section, all you're going to be doing is be mixing up the powder, pouring it into the mosaic mould, and just pretend I did it again. I didn't get the second one on camera, and then I believe I should be back for the demoulding of this. So I'll get Chris to speed this bit up, and I shall be back shortly.
She's the crafty rat with a moonlit plan, making frogs and octopuses with her hands. Shades of starlight splash on her disguise. She's a mystery lit by lunar skies. I spin your shadow tales with a twist and a grin. Craft your secret world where dreams begin.
Okay, so I told a lie. I'm back a little bit earlier. Now, it is glow in the dark, so when I was recording this, we figured we'd show it off a bit. So that's all I'm doing here, is charging it up a bit with the UV light, and then Chris nicely turns off the light. And you can just about make out the glow in the dark. It does glow really, 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 really well. Yeah, you can see it there. Right, so back to the rest of it being fast forwarded.
She sews light to dark where shapes collide, leaves tales of wonder in the echo's tide. There's magic in her fingertips weaving tight, born of stardust hues in the quiet night. Spin your shadow tale with a twist and a grin. Craft your secret world where dreams begin. The cosmic art's a riddle no one's cracked. She's the crafty rat, she's never looking back.
Right, so I'm back. As you can see, this is the second load. You can see in the top, I've got little mini shot cups full of all of these little mosaic pieces. Now, just for this next section, all I'm doing is literally pulling them out. This was a royal pain to do. All the bits were so tidy and time consuming. Now, I don't think it's in camera shot. I was a little bit of an idiot. I'd already mixed up the resin, I believe, for this bit. I had a few, oh no, sorry, I used more leftover from a second project that I was doing at the time. And yeah, I probably should have done with making up a bit more, but for this next section, all you'll see me doing is pulling these out and then separating them into 3 cups, mixing up a little bit of the spare resin that I had into them, which was nowhere near enough, and trying to put the mosaic pieces into the molds. So the rest of this, words not wording, the rest of this should be fast forwarded.
Crafty little rat, she's stirring resin tonight. Pink and green swirls in the dying porch light. Her hands are nimble with a shimmer and a gleam. She's spinning out her magic like a backwoods dream. Pour it, twist it, watch it take hold. A playful creation worth more than gold. In a little workshop just beyond the track, that crafty little rat ain't ever looking back. Her overalls are spattered, her hair's tied tight, but those mischievous eyes hold the light in the fight. With a chuckle and a hum.
Right, so as you've seen, just filling these up. Now, I did have a little bit of white left over from, I think it was probably one of next week's videos that I was multitasking on, and it's just some white. So all I'm doing on this one, I'm doing it slightly different to the others, is I've got the right hand side with the glow in the dark chips. It's not cured resin, and I've shifted it all over, and I'm filling this side with white. Now, I think that's all I'm doing for this bit, and I shall be back momentarily when it comes to the next layer. Right, so extremely bubbly resin, and yeah, my flakes. Now, you can probably tell I did this over a week ago because I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. So I didn't let the resin cure. It is still all sticky and gooey and icky at this point. So I've mixed my resin up, I've mixed the flakes in with the resin. Now, I was thinking, this is loads. Yeah. It wasn't. It really wasn't. I thought I'd have a lot more left over than what I did. So I'm just using this to back up the frog. Now, my original idea was probably to have mixed in the gilding flakes in with the resin, then mixed in with the chips. Yeah, that didn't quite go to plan because I didn't have enough resin. So, winging it, I'm just putting it all on the back. So I'm just going to fill this up. And as I say, I cannot for the life of me remember what I did. I believe I used most of it on the frog, which I was very surprised it took as much as it did. And then I used a little bit on the octopus. So for the following bits, that's what you'll see. I then also do a second pour. I think it's on camera. We'll see. Yeah, this is where I've not watched any of it before I'm doing the voiceover. Very clever of me. So I'm going to get, yeah, Mr. Ratty is looking at me like I've grown a second head. I talk with my hands quite a lot, and my hands are going all over the place right now. So yeah, I've got Ella the eldest laughing at me. and I'm getting dodgy looks off Mr. Ratty. So anyway, back to where I was. I poured the rest of the gold flakes in the frog, a little bit in the octopus. I'm going to come back and I'm going to top the other frog and the octopus with white. So that's what you'll see. But for the rest of this, it'll just be fast forwarded. Right, so I'll be back, I believe, after this, it should be for the demold.
She sews light to dark where shapes collide, leaves tales of wonder in the echo's time. There's magic in her fingertips weaving tight, born of stardust hues in the quiet night. Spin your shadow tails.
Right, back to demold. But before I do, I'm not expecting great things out of this. I'm expecting loads and loads and loads of bubbles. But we'll just see how bad it actually is. So I will start with the excess ones. Now I did top the back of this and this one with white. Just because that's what I had. So let's have a look. I'm loving this mould. As I said, there are air bubbles, however, I do quite like that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the bubbles. I don't know if to fill them in or not because it's a matte mould. However, I will colour the eyes in. And there's random bubbles around the edge. I think the resin was getting a little bit thicker there. But not too bad. It has given me some ideas for a future one. So it's not a complete failure, which is good. Pass it over to the Ratty so he can have a mess with it. So I'm expecting something similar with this. I have no idea what was going through my head when I had this idea. It just did not work the way I was hoping it would. But we'll see how it has worked. Now, this has just come off the heat mat. I did pour it last night, so it's been probably actually 24 hours. But because of the heat mat, it is still bendy, but it is fully cured. Oh. I'm struggling with my hands tonight, so I'm going to pass it on to Ratty to demold for me. Make himself useful. And whilst he's doing that, I will just release these toes. Yes, I did say toes. That comment was just for Sun. She knows exactly what I'm on about. Well, at least it's not just me, even he's still struggling a bit. So this one has been a couple of days, so this one, the toes are pretty solid. And please do forgive the nail varnish. Yeah, it's starting to chip off. Nope, he's still going for it. Oh, I mean, it's not worked the way I was hoping it to. However, there are no air bubbles in it, and I actually quite like... Oh no, there are. Yep, there definitely are. Well, that's not too bad, and I like how the white is just random in that. Yeah, there are a few bubbles, you just can't see them initially. So, that one's not too bad. Now, where is my UV light?
That's a very good question.
While he's looking for that, I will get this one out. Okay. go. Right, so I can't. Oh, yeah, there are a couple of bubbles. There is one in there, but actually that looks pretty cool because it's pretty deep. Right, so you know where there is one? Yeah. Right, he's just going to go get me one. Right, so it didn't take him too long. See, I've put this back into frame. You might notice it is a little darker. That's because I'd forgotten about this to begin with. This was glow in the dark powder. It is linked below. I can't remember the name off by heart, but it is glow in the dark and it does work really well. So I'm just going to give these a quick whiz and then I will get Mr. Ratty to turn off the light. Yep. So how cool is that? Hello. I'll just give it a little bit more. The little octopus here. How awesome is that? Right, so let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys.
She's the crafty rat with a moonlit plan, making frogs and octopuses with her hands. Shades of starlight splash on her disguise. She's a mystery lit by lunar skies. Spin your shadow tales with a twist and a grin. Craft your secret world where dreams begin. Her cosmic art's a riddle no one's cracked. She's the crafty rat, she's never looking back. She sews light to dark where shapes collide, leaves tales of wonder in the echo's tide. There's magic in her fingertips.